This is DMG and welcome to 70 System, and in our talk about general role-playing game things, we've been talking about the 7 pillars of role-playing games, and this is problem solving. So if you're enjoying these videos and you'd like to financially support this channel, please check out patreon.com/70system. Of course, you can also buy the monster PDFs and eventually the game that is coming out soon. So this video is about the 7 pillars of role-playing games, and this pillar is problem solving. Now, problem solving is essentially what the game is all about, but it's, sometimes people forget that that's what it is. The reason you put a monster in front of a character is for them to solve the problem of how do we get past this monster, how do we neutralize the monster, how do we run away from this monster, how do we get the poison out of the monster's mouth so we can use it in our assassination quest. This is a problem you've presented to the players. Likewise, the story itself is a series of problem-solving events, and creating stats for your character is about solving future problems by improving your character's ability to get past these problems. So problem-solving is probably the cornerstone of role-playing games, second to storytelling. I've also talked about artistry as well, and this is why you can't really separate all these things. So there are multiple cornerstones. So it's not just exploration, combat, and social interaction, but we are going to continue to talk about those things as well. The key thing to recognize with problem solving is that it's not always puzzles. So problems are things that are going to get in the way of the characters getting to their goal, and you can make it easy or you can make it hard. Depends on the players. Their level of enjoyment will come from their ability to overcome these problems. Whenever you hear stories of inspiring people, they've always overcome adversity, which is problem. They've always overcome some major problem. So overcoming problems, overcoming adversities within the game is paramount to keeping the story rolling and to building good characters. Because when people talk about their game and they talk about their experiences of the game, they'll always talk about how they resolved a problem. They defeated a monster, or they managed to disarm a certain trap, or they got a critical hit at the right moment. These are the stories that people will tell about the game, is how they resolved the problem, how they solved it. So your thing as the GM, DM, director, or whatever you are in your game, your aim is to put these problems in front of the players and to make the problems interesting and the resolution satisfying. So it's not just the same problem over and over and over and over again. You just need to kill the same skeleton over and over and over again, which is kind of what happens in computer-based role-playing games, where it's just armies of the same crap just coming at you, and the level of satisfaction of defeating these things starts to drop. So they have to put more powerful monsters in front of you, and the level of satisfaction after a while begins to drop. Whereas what we're attempting to do in 70 System is every monster has a particular problem that it creates for the player, and that problem always feels a little bit different. The monsters are always a little bit different. The problem is always a little bit more different, or more difficult, or less difficult. But a variation or a variety of problems is the spice of the game. The more problems you can come up with that you can throw in, keep a list. Have a, it's just, you think of something, oh, wouldn't it be interesting? How would they, hold a passageway filled with barrels rolling down the passageway. How would the players overcome this? You don't need to know how, you just have to present them with the problem. What if they fall into a room where there's no exits and it's filled with oil, and they're carrying a torch? You don't need to think of the resolution. That's what the players do. So the players now, they have to think of how on earth are we going to get out of this situation. You may plant little things that help them. So the easier you want to make it, say for instance the room full of oil example, there may be a rope ladder, you know, that's loosely hanging through the oubliette at the top. So, you know, they have to fire an arrow through it to get it down. Then, I don't know. All you do is you say, I place a little hanging rope ladder at the top. How they get it down, that's up to them. You just create little things that, you know, may be able to help them. So they may be underneath the oil, there may be a ladder. So they've got to pull it out of the oil, but it's just not long enough. So they have to figure out a way to make it long enough. You know, these are the problems you throw in front of them. And you don't have to think of the solution, you're just creating problems. Because that really is your role as the game master, is to create problems and motivate the story to continue on by helping the players with little things that may help them resolve these problems. So if you like this video, click the like button. You can also check me out on Facebook and on Twitter /70system. And also check out the other series on this channel, which is Storytelling and RPGs, the Mechanics of 70s System, and of course, monsters. Every monster may feel like something you've heard of before, but it's really not. See you then.